And we are back. Yes, you're still tuned in to Wake Up Nigeria, and it's time for our nutrition segment. You know, of course, that we bring you this every Wednesday. And today with us is Elizabeth Onyema, an advanced clinical weight loss expert and the CEO of Liz Weight Watchers and Hearty Foodie. She is a health and lifestyle entrepreneur who teaches nutrition, activity, and behavioral therapy. And today we'll be talking about the best foods for new moms postpartum. You're very welcome.
Thank you so much, Emma.
It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, same here.
Now let's dive right into it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember having, my two kids, Elsie, Eliana, after I had them.
Okay.
Almost immediately I wanted to eat everything. Mm-hmm. But then there are also cases of new moms who are too neck deep into their postpartum depression that they do not even have appetites.
Yes.
They don't want to eat anything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, let's discuss what could be the issue and the best food options for new moms.
So the best food options for new moms basically should be a healthy diet, a balanced and healthy diet. So it must be more like an all-encompassing diet. They don't have to remove anything. When I'm talking about the balance, I'm talking about the three major macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fats and oil. It is very wrong for a new mother to be thinking of, oh, I can't eat carbs right now because I'm trying to lose weight, and stuff like that. So it must be all-encompassing. And that is because every single thing your mother eats, the child eats. So there is this split balance between trying to ensure that you get what you want for yourself as a mother, and at the same time trying to cater for this little one who has just come through you. So at every given point in time, just as how when we carried our babies when they were in our womb, we try to protect them and care for them, so as much as, so should it be afterwards, after giving birth, where we also still have to care for them and ensure that the foods we eat are foods that the children need to grow. And let's not forget, they are in their growing phase of their life. So they actually need these nutrients more than we do. We are more in the maintenance phase of our lives. We don't have our organs growing anymore. We are done growing, so we are done. We are set. We are adults now. But these kids are still growing, so they need all the nutrients and vitamins they can get from their mother's very diet as much as possible.
Now let's break down this foods. So you have mentioned the classes of these foods. Now let's break it down to the food items.
Yes.
For breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks in between.
Yes.
What would you recommend?
So let me tell you a quick funny story. I remember when I gave birth to my son, 12 and a half years ago, almost 13 years ago, I wasn't lactating, because you know how it is for first mother. Sometimes we just don't lactate immediately. And I remember my mother saying, you have to get palm wine, you have to get palm wine. I knew then that there was something not right about it. Nevertheless, I still just allowed her have her way. And they were like, once you take palm wine, your breast milk will begin to flow. A lot of Nigerian women still do that till today. Please, before we begin to talk about all that, let's establish a fact. It is wrong. It is wrong. The only reason why people who take palm wine end up noticing that they are lactating is not really because of the palm wine. It's because they've hydrated. It's the water.
Oh, it's the water.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you get it? It's the water. So when we're talking about healthy carbohydrates, Nigerians as well also believe that when you take pap.
I was going there. I was just about to ask that. Pap.
Yeah.
Pepper soup.
Pepper soup is good.
Pepper soup is good. Okay.
Fantastic.
Great.
But
then there are some spices they use in the pepper soup.
Yes.
That, well, I don't know, that allows you to lactate, but
is
could
it
it
really
be good
more
for
like
your
lactate?
baby?
Yes, they are good for the babies.
Okay,
They are
great.
natural.
Okay.
They are spicy, so they are good. They can't be bad. 99% of the time, the spices we have are antibacterial spice. Yes, they actually help us fight bacteria. So they are good. They aren't bad, and that can also be very effective for the children. So the same thing, pepper soup, palm wine, pap, they are in their, they are liquidy. And that is why it seems as though
you
lactate better. So what it simply means is no matter the kind of diet you choose to take, you must hydrate as much as possible. The more you hydrate, the more you lactate. Do you get? So a perfect breakfast for a breastfeeding mother would definitely not be pap. And that is because pap spikes our blood sugar levels and can trigger the growth of abdominal fat.
But if there's no sugar in it, how does
No, the pap itself is pure sugar.
Okay.
Because carbs are divided into 3 parts.
Okay.
We have the sugar part of a carbohydrate, we have the starch part of a carbohydrate, and we have a fiber part of a carbohydrate. During the process of making pap, they remove the fiber. So what is left there? You know the fiber, that shaft part that we remove, correct? That thing is called fiber.
And that's the healthy part
that's
of
the healthiest, not the healthy.
The
healthiest part of the carbohydrates, right? So they now leave just the sugar and the starch. Now, sugar and starch are one and the same thing. They are indifferent. The only difference between starch and sugar is that starch is a more complex form of sugar.
Which, of course, would break down to sugar in your body.
Which is still sugar.
Yeah.
So that pap that you see is sugar. And without the presence of that fiber, it will spike your blood sugar levels, trigger the growth of abdominal fat, and over time can lead to insulin resistance we discussed last week, which can over time lead to diabetes if you're not careful.
Now, let's just break it down to the food items that you recommend.
So food items, I would normally tell most breastfeeding mothers, especially those who get to work with me, do not avoid eating your regular yam, beans, sweet potato, plantain, moi moi, amala, pounded yam. You can eat them as long as you don't eat them in, large quantity. Remember,
that's the rule, though.
No,
that's the rule. When you're a new mom, that's the rule. You eat. You have to eat so that the baby can be healthy.
Not at all. Now, it's so funny. Like, if I tell you that a new mother just needs 500 calories more than what she normally eats. Yes, to cater for a child. Yes.
Wow. That's a new discovery.
Yes. So if, for instance, prior to my having a baby, I was on 1,200 or 1,700 calories, for instance, my baby just needs 500 extra. They're tiny now. What are they doing? Yes. They aren't going anywhere. They're not doing anything. They just open their eyes, cry, eat, poop, and sleep.
But there's also this belief that if you do not eat too much, as a new mom, if you don't eat much, you get hungry easily. And then you're not feeding your baby adequately.
So the truth about it is that it depends on how often your baby feeds. If you're doing pure exclusives, I know. So, such cases, you just split your meals into like 5 different meals in a day.
But
in portions. Make sure they are loaded with the healthy carbohydrates, a bit of protein. It can be beef. It can be, now, normally when we as adults, we don't really take dairy, but it's okay as a breastfeeding mother to choose to do yogurt, or milk. It's okay, it's not bad, And then, yes.
What about cocoa powder?
Very good.
Okay.
Cocoa powder is healthy. It's a natural food, so it's good.
Those chocolate drinks.
Do you understand? So
chocolate drinks.
Exactly.
The packed sugar.
No, not those ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
We're just talking about the plain cocoa, avoid sugar. Okay. In fact, there is this healthy form of sugar alternative that we can use, even healthier than honey. And that is regular dates powder. So you can buy the regular dates in the market and mill it to powder form. And it can be used on, like maybe your oat cereal, which is good for
new moms.
Okay. A bit of peanut butter in the oat cereal, sprinkle a bit of date powder for breakfast. Awesome. And hydrate very well. And then you lactate well. So the most important thing is ensure that everything on your plate is nourishing enough. A lot of vegetables and plenty of water.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. It's so sad that we're wrapping this off this month, but it's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.